Hey, welcome back everybody. More Age of Empires here for you. The map is Altai. I'm playing against Base God. Or Bass God, you never know. He's playing as the Mongols, I'm playing as the Abbasid. It's always scary to go up against a Mongol player because you never know what they're going to pivot to. And they can be really annoying with this Khan here. Altai is a map that I'm starting to like playing on more and more. It's got these little deer patches, like only 3 deer to an area. I guess it's to really encourage you to get those professional scouts to really gather up the deer. But it's a map where control of the center can be really important, while the sides of the map can give you smaller advantages. So it's important to hold the middle, but even if you're losing the middle and you've got the sides, you could probably hold out. The sacred sites are kind of spread out across, one down here, and of course one in the middle. This is what I mean by the Khan being annoying. Look at this. He's going to chase down my scout, and the whole time he's going to be shooting at the sheep that I gathered up. So that's 1 sheep lost. There's another. Oh, he's catching up. He's going for that 3rd. And it's not awful that I'm losing these sheep. If I was the Rus, I would be very upset. But as the Abbasid, we're not going to be relying on these sheep too much as our food source. I mean, really, we're all about these berries. I'm aging up with the economic wing, and I'm trying to play it cautiously here. I want to know what my opponent's up to before I make any major sort of tech or build decisions. So we're going to just kind of gather up. We're going to float some resources, and we're going to get our scouts into position. We've pretty much scouted most of the map. Ooh, there's a nice nearby berry patch right there. It looks like I didn't quite grab that sheep there. But we are... Yeah. The scouts have gathered back up. We're dropping off whatever sheep are still alive, you know, that didn't get knocked down by Khan arrows. And now I'm going to send my scouts out. I'm going to take a slight defensive posture with this outpost on my gold. I figure it's a nice spot since that's kind of where I expect my opponent to approach from, but now's when we really need to find out what the heck is going on over here. Pretty quick age up from the Mongol player, and now I'm seeing his Ovu here. And I want to know what is going on with the Ovu. I want to see what buildings are being built around here. I'm going to do that by parking a scout here and occasionally bringing this scout who's in this stealth forest kind of over for a little peek to see what we can find. Again, we don't want to make any tech decisions here just yet because we want to know what he's up to, though it's never a bad idea to just drop the double stables. He's harassing my villagers with the Khan. I'm just going to retreat the injured villagers and swap over villagers from berries over here. Now that I have a horseman out, we can scare off this Khan. Try to put my villagers up in the outpost to get some shots, but nothing happens. So the idea is we're going to come forward, and it looks like nice. With my scout, I spot archery range and stables, so my double stables decision was a good one. Let's see what I can do with these horsemen out here. With just a single horseman, not much. We can just kind of poke and prod at his villagers. He doesn't even have to really immediately pull them, although he does. As you can see, we're just not doing enough damage to really do anything. Here come 4 archers, 2 horsemen. He knows that he can just push out a big bunch of archers and scare me off, but I don't know if he knows that I have double stables. So I'm about to have a pretty big cavalry mass, and we can just take on his archers. I'm going to have these 2 chase the archers, and these 3 in my scout deal with his cavalry. He's retreating the villagers in. That's a really nasty volley of arrows there. It's always scary to go near a Mongol town center or an English town center. The English town center just fires so quickly, and the Mongols, they've got all their villagers likely near their town center, chopping wood or gathering up from sheep, so they can just hop everybody in. Should probably turn on these archers. Well, looks like I'm not too sure. So I saw lots of archers and some horsemen. I didn't really see spearmen. So I'm going to get my second town center up and just start building up economically. I'm not going to keep making horsemen until I can confirm what exactly he's going to do with his units. We charge in because we really want that villager kill. We get it, but looks like we're going to lose a horseman because of it. Maybe 2? No. So we're still only seeing these 2 military structures, although they can really be pumping out units. He's got the Ovu here, so he can double produce from them. What a great Ovu spot for my opponent. He's got his town center within it, the blacksmith, the archery range, and the stables. It's pretty amazing he got his town center in there as well. He could play a macro game if he wanted. I'm gonna upgrade this outpost. I've kept 1 villager on stone just to be sure, in case we need to put an emplacement down. That'll make this outpost a little stronger. And seeing the early blacksmith, I was kind of thinking to myself, oh, well, I need to get upgrades too. But I didn't really think, oh, that means he's going to be going for a ram push. But now I see the units parked outside my base. With this incoming ram push, we need to decide how we're going to play it. First, we're going to get some upgrades. We've put down a barracks, we've put down our archery range, we're going to start producing units, and we're pretty much just going to non-stop produce units. The moment we've confirmed that he's going for a ram push, although really it's pretty obvious with this blacksmith here. I don't know why I didn't quite put it together until I kind of do a quick scout of his army. The horsemen that he has aren't too scary. The fact that he made so many, I think, was a mistake. I think he really just wanted an archer ball. The archers on the back I can see kind of doing a dance here and all staring at something. That's a good indicator that they're building a ram or some kind of siege unit. I'm going to narrow this choke point down. So now he has to come through here, and some units that I sent on sort of a long path around show up, so helpful to have these reinforcements. I'm going to send my scout around to confirm and try to get an idea of the numbers here. Yeah, lots of archers. What are we looking at? 11 horsemen, 13 archers, and 2 rams. The 13 archers are the real issue. The 11 horsemen, not really. We've already got 2 spearmen. Even just 2 spearmen can scare off a lot of horsemen. So here he comes with the push. We gotta be ready. The total numbers, 14 archers, 12 horsemen. I think he really needs to cut down on the horsemen. We did reinforce our outpost with stone, so it's going to take a lot longer for these rams to take out the outpost. We've got him in a nice choke point here, but I'm not really sure how to fight with my horsemen. Eventually I just decide to engage. I'm not sure to whose advantage this choke point is, but if I can get these horsemen on the back lines and into his archers, that'll be really good. Yeah, they're doing some bonus damage to them. Unfortunately, my spearman ends up back there. But yeah, this is what I want to see. Horsemen on top of his archers, and his melee mass, the horsemen, yeah, they're just getting torn apart by these spearmen. I do lose the outpost. I'm trying to burn the rams. I get 1. I could send my horsemen onto the next ram, but instead I decide let's try and reduce the horseman ball that's built up here. A lot of my villagers are idle, sitting in these 2 buildings here, but I'm feeling okay. I don't think I'm going to lose to this ram push, and this was a very aggressive play from my opponent. Really want to get the ram down. I'm going to commit some villagers to it. We get it. Now it's just kind of 2 archer balls, but I've got a town center firing at them too. Happy to just retreat, and now I've got some horsemen coming out. They'll protect me. So we hold off the push, but one thing to think about, I no longer have villagers on this gold vein, and I'm only at 540 gold, so I need to realize right now to get on gold, or else my age up is going to be delayed. Fortunately, I notice and I get some villagers to work on it. We've got the 1200 food. And we did put up another outpost back here, so this is starting to become a real difficult area for my opponent to break through. It's not a bad idea to just pump some horsemen on the back end of this. We can scout, we can chase down archers that maybe didn't make it home. In fact, there you go. I have my horsemen target fire a few of these archers, and then I just tell them, once you kill all those archers, run for it. It's so nice getting pickoffs with these horsemen. Archers just follow them so quickly. Okay, good. We get our age up. We're going up to the culture wing. And we're still sitting on our 2 town centers. We've been producing villagers pretty regularly, and we've maybe lost 1 or 2. Good, this scout is still bouncing back and forth. I'm seeing a lot of pastures. Looks like my opponent's taking a pretty defensive position here. And he just moved on to this ovu. It's pretty convenient. Those are 2 rock outcroppings that were very close by. So I'm going to send my horsemen out. Worst case scenario, I just lose a few horsemen. Best case scenario, we find some villagers, but probably the middle ground will be we run smack right into the middle of his army, and we at least get a scout of what he's making. Having some food issues, it's good that I have a bunch of food stockpiled, but I really need to make the transition to farms because there's no longer really any convenient food locations. We've walled this area off. We are walling these sections off. That means the only way in my base will be through here, either this gap right here or this gap right here. And my opponent makes it to the castle age. I'm pretty surprised by how fast he got there, but I mean, after the ram push, he probably on the backside was just macroing. We're trying to harass his archers because they're a good target, although he's near his town center. We make it up to the castle age, so now we're going to be looking to get some of our castle age units and some of our tech. Let's check to see if the villagers are here. Bingo, but they just run into an outpost. This is a little annoying. I'll bounce back and forth trying to see if he's paying attention, but I don't think we can do much about him gathering up all that gold. I'm okay with him having the gold from the steppe redoubt, but we really need to push our own economic advantages. Would love to see the preservation of knowledge get researched, and I'm floating a lot of food, but I don't want to spend it in a wasteful way. Same with my wood. I've got tons of villagers on wood, and I need to be smart about how I spend that wood. Fortunately, I'm putting down more military production. That's what I want to see. I would love to see some outposts go up on the map. I don't think I do that, but it would be nice. Maybe more walls. Would also like to see more farms. Okay, good. More farms were put down, and I'd like to maybe see a monastery and a siege workshop. That, or maybe another blacksmith. And I'd also like to see more villagers on gold. We really need it. It's our one limiting factor right now. Losing my scout, I am seeing a lancer. No surprise there, but it is a nice reminder. I say to myself, okay, I'm probably gonna need spearmen. And I actually sent a large group of villagers. Once we ran out of food over here, I sent some to chop, others to go for this stone outcropping, because I figured if we can get a keep down here near the sacred site, that'll be a great forward position, and that'll open up all of these resource spots here. All these gold veins and all these little wood patches. Good. Like seeing the outposts going up, and yes, I like that I'm kind of doing subsequent builds of them. And there's the mosque and the siege workshop. But I don't have any upgrades coming through on my blacksmith. Hopefully once I get more gold income, and it looks like we're starting to get it, that we can knock out a few of these, because he had a pretty early blacksmith. Okay, nice. We get the golden age tier 2. I'd also like to maybe see some economic upgrades. We don't really have any of the economic upgrades. I mean, every bit of gold is being used right now for units. Oh, and imams, because we're trying to secure more gold on the map. I'd like to snatch up this relic, which was tucked in my base, along with this one over here. As Khan comes forward and sees what's going on here, we're just going to chase him out with the horsemen. But it looks like he's actually rallying units over here, which is not a good idea. We get a free lancer right there. We're going to back off. I've seen tons of man-at-arms. And this has been the story of Age of Empires 3 or 4 recently. Everyone's just been making man-at-arms. And so I'm anticipating this. That's why we put down the keep. That's why I decided to put down 3 archery ranges rather than a mix of archery ranges, stables, and barracks. I really just want crossbowmen and archers. Primarily crossbowmen and mangonels. A mangonel would be really great. And it looks like, yeah, I've already produced one, and it's coming up to the front lines. If we can sit it under the keep, that'll be great. We get this outpost up, so that's great. I'm trying to put this forward one, but I think it's just a little too far. He's got an archer kind of watching. Yeah, he's going to send a few archers. That villager's done. I'm not sure if I should try to get the outpost up. I decided to just cancel it. And in lieu of that, I'm going to wall up around here. Usually opponents just kind of get, I mean, we're all guilty of it. We just kind of get blinders on when we see army, the fight will happen here no matter what. I don't think people consider pivoting as much as they should. This outpost down here is kind of discouraging him from going the south way, but he easily could. He could easily just loop through here, or maybe on the north side up near this boar. Maybe loop through here. At least my outposts will spot it, but instead I suspect it's just going to be a battle right here. I'm trying to take advantage of other areas of the map. We're going to wall this section off and then maybe grab this sacred site. There's not many resources in this lower section, but it does have a gold vein here, and that's a pretty sizable one. Also, it'd be nice to grab this relic. We already grabbed the one that was down here, so now we're getting a little bit more gold income. We're also grabbing some upgrades. Good, we're getting some ranged upgrades and the military academy, so that way I can produce units quicker. And I'm glad to see my resources being spent so much. Look at that, sub 400 for all of these resources. I'm even using stone to make stone walls here. And I really like this move from me where I'm building this stone wall right in his face. There's been recent changes to stone walls. They're really dangerous to put up, and they're very vulnerable early on. So I was kind of watching this area. I wanted to see how he would react to me kind of closing off this area. And I'm thinking about maybe closing off the rest of this with palisades, but for now I'm just going to put these stone walls up, and he decides to come forward. The mangonels get some shots on his archers, and we're just going to flood into this gap here. But his units are just completely clogged up. They're trying to get to the siege units in the back. You can see they brought out their torches really briefly, but I mean, it's just a huge choke here, and we're just bombarding his units with the mangonels. Most of his archers and crossbowmen have been completely wiped out because the mangonels have just been firing on the backside. Even this outpost on the side is getting some free Springald shots. And I've got I even have a Springald. We were able to take out one of his battering rams while all of that was going on. That felt like a really good trade. On the back of that, I get up another town center. We're spamming out more upgrades. And I believe we've even got a trebuchet, yeah, coming to the front lines. We've grabbed the sacred site in the center. This wall is about to be finished, and we'll send one of our imams over there to capture it. And yeah, we're getting out even more siege units. We've got so much wood coming in. We're starting to make the full transition to farms. We've got agriculture, so that's giving us more food. Yeah, there's a lot of farms here. All of them being worked. And my opponent taps out. I think when the trebuchets started firing on his step redoubt up here, he just tapped out. I think macro really won me the game here, and making smart decisions like this choke point. Him attacking into it was suicide. Anyway, hope you'll be around for the next game, and thanks for tuning in.